Hi, I'm attorney Greg Dell, and this is a super interesting case that I have to talk to you about today, and it involves the Liberty Mutual Disability Insurance Company, and it was a long-term disability denial case that was filed in the Southern District of Mississippi against Liberty Mutual, and it involved an employee of Allstate Insurance Company. So we basically have two insurance companies involved, although it was only Liberty that failed to pay the disability benefits, and we have a insurance company employee that wasn't getting paid. Now, in most of these Liberty Mutual disability policies that have an own occupation definition of disability, usually the definition of own occupation says, we're going to consider your own occupation, but we're going to consider the occupation as how it's performed in the national economy, and we're not necessarily going to consider the specific way in which you performed your occupation for your employer. So in this particular case, Liberty Mutual said, we understand that you're an Allstate insurance agent, but we're not going to look at how you performed your job for Allstate. We're going to look at how the job of insurance agent is performed throughout the country for most other employers. But there was a big mistake that Liberty Mutual made in this case. In this particular case in Mississippi, what Liberty Mutual did was they said, we're going to consider you to be an inside insurance examiner as opposed to an outside insurance examiner. And we're going to consider an inside insurance examiner to be a sedentary type job. So Liberty Mutual basically said your own occupation is sedentary, your job requires you something to do in an office, and failed to consider any of the job qualifications of this Allstate person who was an outside insurance examiner that required them to be out of the office, go to property damage sites, visit with clients outside the office, and was not purely a sedentary job. And the court basically said, look, Liberty, you abused your discretion and acted unreasonably. You didn't even take into consideration any of the specific requirements of this person's job as an outside insurance claims examiner. And by doing that, you can't just ignore the duties of the person's job and say, oh, but this is how the job's performed in the national economy. Essentially, the court said, we don't think that there should be a strict interpretation of the policy and limit you to how the job's performed in the economy. You have to take into consideration how the person's job is performed and what they actually do. And this is a strategy that our firm always takes into consideration. Whenever we present a claim, we always do an extensive presentation as to how the person's job was performed so that the disability company understands what that person was doing, and we don't allow the disability insurance companies to try to say, well, we don't care that you had to be out of the office for 2 or 3 hours a day, that you had to walk for 20 minutes during the day, that you had to get up from your chair at your office 10 or 15 times a day, that you had to supervise 10 or 15 people. All of these different things that are different from the way that Liberty Mutual or any other insurance company may think the job is performed. So this is a great case to say that while the insurance company may think your job is done one way, they really have to consider how your job is actually done, or they could be found to act unreasonably. So in this case against Liberty Mutual, the decision to deny benefits was reversed, and this Allstate insurance adjuster's benefits were reinstated, and he was deemed disabled by the court. If you have a claim against Liberty Mutual or any other disability insurance company anywhere in the country, we would appreciate the opportunity to speak with you, provide you with a free consultation, and let you know how we can help you with your claim. This is something that we can do within a matter of minutes of reviewing your policy or reviewing your denial letter. We look forward to the opportunity to speak with you.